Welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're diving into something, well, you and I use it literally every single day, but we rarely stop to think about it. Web search. You know the drill. You type in a messy, half-finished thought, hit enter, and boom, you get the exact right answer in milliseconds. But what is actually happening in that tiny fraction of a second? Let's peel back the curtain on the invisible magic of modern web search, and we'll discover exactly how these machines manage to decode the beautiful, chaotic mess that is human language. So let's start with the big one, the overarching question: how does a search engine actually know what you mean? I mean, as humans, we get context effortlessly, right? But computers, they inherently only understand ones and zeros, and human language is just incredibly messy. It's filled with slang, idioms, missing punctuation, double meanings, you name it. For decades, search engines didn't really know what you meant. They just looked for exact character matches. If you typed apple, they just found pages with the word apple on them. But modern natural language processing, or NLP, has completely, absolutely changed the game. Section 1. The language ambiguity problem. The core problem. To really understand why that old-school, simple keyword matching fails so often, we need to look at something called lexical ambiguity. It's really just a fancy term for when a single word has multiple, completely unrelated meanings depending on the context. The classic linguistics example here is the word bank. If I say to you, she stood on the riverbank, you know I'm talking about a geographical slope of dirt and grass, right? But if I say she deposited money in the bank, I'm obviously referring to a financial institution. Now, to a rigid, older search engine, the string of letters B-A-N-K is completely identical in both of those sentences. And this is exactly why a simple keyword match will so often fetch completely irrelevant results. Section 2. Word sense disambiguation, finding exact meanings. When a system encounters a highly ambiguous phrase like riverbank, it doesn't just guess anymore. It actually follows a very specific processing pipeline. First off, it tokenizes the text. That basically means it breaks it down into individual words, and then it tags the parts of speech, identifying your nouns, your verbs, your adjectives. Then, it takes those tokens and feeds them straight into a word sense disambiguation engine. This engine consults a massive lexical database, something like WordNet, which basically acts as a giant dictionary of distinct concepts. By evaluating the surrounding words, like noticing the word river sitting right next to bank, the engine outputs a disambiguated text. It locks in bank_sense_1, the geographical definition, rather than the financial one. Pretty cool, right? Now, there are actually a few different ways these engines make that final decision. Historically, they used dictionary-based approaches, like the Lesk algorithm. That literally just counts the overlapping words between the dictionary definition of the candidate sense and the surrounding words in your actual sentence. Later on, we moved to supervised machine learning, using classifiers like support vector machines that were trained on massive, manually labeled data sets. But today we use contextual deep learning models like BERT. These are state-of-the-art models that actually map words into a massive, high-dimensional vector space. In this space, words with different senses naturally map to distant areas from each other. That allows the system to pinpoint your exact meaning with just incredible accuracy. Section 3. The Information Retrieval Pipeline, System Architecture. Okay, so zooming out a bit, the entire information retrieval ecosystem is actually split into two completely separate pathways. Up at the top, you have the offline indexing path, and down at the bottom, the online search path. Now, this split right here, this is the grand secret to why your search results load so blazingly fast. The vast majority of the computational heavy lifting actually happens offline, completely independently of you ever hitting the search button. Let's break down exactly how each path works. In the offline indexing phase, the system is constantly, and I mean constantly, crawling the web. It's parsing millions of PDFs, HTML pages, you name it. It runs a process called lexical normalization on all of this text. It's tokenizing the words, removing those little filler stop words like the and is, and it uses stummers to strip away suffixes. So words like running and runs just become run. All of this nicely cleaned up data is then used to build what's called the inverted index. This is literally the core data structure of any search engine. Think of it basically as a gigantic dictionary of every unique word on the internet, pointing to a massive postings list of exactly which documents contain that word. All right, let's move over to the second path and see how this builds into your actual user experience. The online search phase happens entirely in real time. The moment you type a query, the system parses and normalizes your words using the exact same rules it used on the documents earlier. It takes your cleaned-up query, matches it against that pre-built inverted index, and retrieves a list of potential documents. But it doesn't just hand you some random unsorted list. It runs them all through a matcher and ranker. It uses these really clever mathematical models like TF-IDF, which measures how frequently a term appears in a document compared to the whole web, or cosine similarity. It calculates a relevance score and ranks your results instantly, so the absolute best page is sitting right at the top. Section 4. Search evolution, classical versus semantic. Classical models, like the Boolean model, were incredibly rigid. They relied on strict set theory logic. Think of a search like NLP and semantics, not syntax. It was totally binary. A document was either a 100% match or a 0% match. There was absolutely no gray area, no partial matching, and honestly, no real understanding of synonyms at all. But semantic search, powered by modern models like BERT, it operates in a completely different universe. It doesn't just blindly look at keywords, it computes those dense vectors we talked about to classify your actual intent. It maps your query into a semantic space to measure how closely your meaning aligns with a web page, even if you didn't use the exact same words as the author. Section 5. Semantic search. In action. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you type this exact phrase into a search engine. Who is the actor that played Iron Man in the Avengers movie? Now, this is a highly conversational query. A classical keyword engine would absolutely panic here. It would start looking for documents containing the word who, the word is, the word actor, and it would try to match the exact string. It would likely just hand you a really messy list of random blog posts or Wikipedia pages that you'd have to physically read through yourself to find the answer. But here is what a modern NLP-powered search engine does instead. First, it scans your query to detect specific entities, and it does this by looking closely at referring expressions. To really understand this, we have to recognize the different types of referring expressions these systems look for. First, there are proper names, like Iron Man or Robert Downey Jr., which point to specific, unique entities. Then you have definite noun phrases, like the actor or the movie, which refer to a specific entity that's identifiable in the context. And finally, there are pronouns, like he or it, which refer back to entities that were already mentioned. By identifying Iron Man as a character and the Avengers as a film based on these expressions, the system understands the specific entities you actually care about. Next, it performs relation extraction, identifying the word played as the key relationship between an actor and a character. Finally, it completely bypasses standard text search. It takes these extracted pieces and queries its structured knowledge graph directly. Because it understands exactly what you are asking, it instantly retrieves the specific data node for Robert Downey Jr. and places his name, a photo, and a neat little bio card right at the very top of your screen. Literally no clicking required. It really is just staggering when you break it all down. From disambiguating double meanings to crawling billions of documents offline, to mapping your intent into high-dimensional vector spaces, to plucking exact answers from a knowledge graph. And it does all of this in a fraction of a second. So I'll leave you with this thought. Next time you hit enter on a search bar, take just a microsecond to appreciate the absolute mountain of hidden computational heavy lifting happening right behind your screen. It's not magic, it's brilliant engineering, but it sure feels like magic, doesn't it? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep staying curious.